What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review, and today we got something really cool. We're VOD reviewing Ego Illusions, who is 2400 LP almost on the Brazilian server, rank 1 global. And you might say, oh okay, but like is Brazil really that good? Even though, I mean, look at this average, man, it's beautiful. He's also got an NA account that he's actually doing very, very well on. He's playing right now on it. He's 1K LP, rank 87 NA, so this guy is no slouch whatsoever. He also played in the TOC tournament that I did some VOD reviews of last weekend, and he got to the, or I guess last week really, and he got to the final day of that, so no slouch, one of the best players in Brazil, and I thought, he's rank 1 global, let's VOD review him. 2400 LP, he's got to be pretty good. This is a game on his NA account. The only notable NA player in this lobby is Rainplosion, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's cool to see him play up against some NA greats. And we also have a really fun portal, which is the Ornn artifact one, so we can see what he ends up taking in this spot, because there's so many new artifacts to play around. We pick up this early Illaoi, means we would prefer to play, I mean, you can play Ashe from this spot, you can play AP from this spot. We're going to opt to sell to Diana just because Diana's not a great unit in the early game. Oh, he's really, I was surprised by him hovering over that Teemo there for a second. I mean, I'm down to hold the Teemo in this spot. You either hold Darius pair here or Teemo. I don't think you really care about the Malphite. I like holding Teemo just because it opens up maybe a fortune, but looks like he's more interested in the Darius. And also, yeah, I like this. I like this one in the Teemo for sure. Augment-wise here, yeah, the left and right are really not very takeable to start. Learning to spell, fantastic augment if you want to play towards like Fated Dryad. Pretty good if you want to play Lilia. Anything AP really you can learning to spell with. So I think that's a pretty reasonable augment to take here, especially because we already have so many items. Like Buried Treasures, we're probably going to have a 3-item carry this game, honestly, with the JG Shojin plus this. So we don't really need the Buried Treasures item, so I'm down to reroll this, and if it's nothing great, then yeah, we just angle for this. I mean, you could take Mulch, but the stats on this Mulched augment do not look amazing, so I'm down to take Learning to Spell here, pop my Ornn artifact here, and just play the best board that we can. Item-wise here, I definitely am not taking Corrupt Vampiric or Death's Defiance, because we're making Shojin. I don't really love Mana Zane either, so I guess Eternal Winter has to be the take, and it's pretty good onto the Jax. That could actually change our slams up here a bit. I don't even hate Eternal Winter here, Steadfast Heart Shojin, and then save the Rod, but we'll see what Ego Illusions isn't making here. But yeah, I feel like it has to be Eternal Winter in this spot. Yeah, throw it onto the... Oh, honestly, yeah. I mean, Illaoi is enough of a beast that maybe it is actually even just better on the Illaoi. I wanted to put it on the 2-star unit. But, I mean, honestly, yeah, Illaoi is a beast. And he does end up making the JG here. Yeah, I think I like Steadfast better, but I wonder what his thought process... I mean, maybe his idea is that we have Learning to Spell. We're always going to make a JG here. And Steadfast Heart is, like, one of the worst tank items that you can make. Ooh, completed item here. So this could be so much stuff. I'd be really tempted to go Redemption in the spot here, but there's also a third tank item here, or third damage item, which is really, really juicy as well. But I like balancing frontline and backline items. I don't love Gumblade that much. I don't love Shojin with adaptive helms here. So I think I'd take Redemption here. I mean, you're never taking Renons. I don't think you're... I mean, you could even take Adaptive, but I think I like Redemption here. Let's see what we go for. Adaptive? Adaptive Redemption? Okay, he's stuck between the two. Yeah, I mean... You could go Adaptive Illaoi here, is the idea. I just feel like Redemption's a more flexible tank item, and we do end up going for the Redemption here. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly think about the Adaptive there, and I think he thought about it for a bit, but I think he probably came to a similar conclusion where he wanted to go for this. And oh, honestly, looking at our board here, it looks like Ego Illusions has already picked what comp he wants to play this game. He's got the early Illaoi, he's got Learning to Spell, so this is going to be a Learning to Spell Zoe Zyra reroll game is his thought process in this position. He's already got Illaoi, who, I mean, the fantastic thing about this spot is that the Illaoi is already getting these Learning to Spell stacks, which is really nice. We also pick up this Arcanist board that we could play, and then he opts to swap back to the Ghostly board. I mean, I think, yeah, you don't really... I mean, the thing is you could cut Jax too for the Amumu. I actually kind of thought that other board was stronger, but I guess the downside is you don't get like a main carry in the way that you have Kog'Maw here. But, like holding onto the Arcanist also feels kind of good, though I guess none of them are really going to end up on the board, so I think this is fine. But yeah, the big thing about this opener is that we already have Illaoi getting these Learning to Spell stacks, so we want to play a board that has Illaoi on it. With Chainvest open, I think Gargoyle, oh yeah, Gargoyle seems fantastic here. Allows you to slam another item into Illaoi, means that we can just solo frontline this Illaoi and she's going to be a monster in the late game. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And boom, picking up the Zoe here is huge because now we can start also getting those Learning to Spell stacks onto the Zoe. So this is fantastic for us. Would really like to fit in an Arcanist onto this board, but I mean, I would probably level here. Looks like Illusions is not going to level here for just Arcanist because he's not confident that he can win streak, and maybe he can make, yeah, he can make 20 gold next round if we don't level here. So yeah, he just prioritizes making the gold here as opposed to trying to like win fights it doesn't really matter, like, as far as a win streak goes, because we don't have any of those because we lost the last fight. So yeah, he's going to take a good loss here, and maybe we can 3-loss it into neutral as well. This ends up being really, really smart to not level here, even though we have a pretty significant level up. Ooh, double Shen. That means we're going to have to sell something here, and yeah, he's just going to opt to get off the Caitlyn here, which I think makes sense. We don't really want to play her late game. We need to get the Shen in. Okay, I'm not really sure what that was for a second. Maybe he's trying... I mean, he wants to lose this fight for sure, but I don't think we need to go that far, right? Yeah, and we end up selling the Caitlyn here. So yeah, I mean, we've got the Shen already. We've got the Illaoi. These units are already stacking up learning to spell, which is really, really nice. Shen, good AP scaling. Illaoi, good AP scaling. And Zoe, good AP scaling. And the fact that we picked up the Zoe already means that we're probably playing for... I mean, we're definitely playing for Zoe main carry, because this comp can... It can carry Zoe or it can carry Zyra, depending on what you hit. But we hit the Zoe early. We're getting the learning spell stacks on her, so I feel like you always go for that. Pick up a Sivir and a Garen here, which allows us to actually play for... Ooh, that's kind of a fun idea. But yeah, allows us to play Star Weaver here. Ideally, we get the Zyra in over the Sivir, but this is fine for now. But yeah, the idea is that we already are getting so much AP this game that we don't actually need more. Oh my god. I mean, that's a nice orb. Yeah, you don't need the Kayn, but the Morgana fits so well onto this board. I mean, that's fantastic. The only thing that's kind of awkward is, like, it's a little... Like, you want to get Morgana in on level 7, usually. Like, it's a little early to have this Morgana, but, I mean, you have to play her. You have to start getting those learning spell stacks. So, yeah, we end up getting out of Story Weaver here. I think this is really, really smart, and we can even just make 40 gold if we need to. I hate this positioning, though. Okay, I like this, that we swapped at the last second. Really good stuff from Ego Illusions, just to make sure that you really want Illaoi on the edge here to get max Gargoyle value, to get max Eternal Winter value. I honestly would do what he was doing before and just kind of solo frontline her and put 2 units behind her. I don't think an Illaoi with 3 items at this phase of the game is going to get one-tapped. So yeah, I think you can be pretty happy with just positioning like he had here. Augment-wise, ooh, I mean, that was the immediate Prismatic Ticket here. I mean, I think this Augment in this comp specifically is fantastic. It allows you to do something like rolling actually kind of deep here, though we're not getting too many free rerolls, which is kind of awkward. Like, you'd really like to roll here and pick up just everything. And there is the Zyra that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, the Galio's not even really better than Shen here. I don't think you can continue rolling down here. You definitely need to make get back up to your 20 gold here, or else you're going to be really broke this game. But when you play a comp like this, it does feel really good to roll at 6 in a spot like this, because there's so many units that you can hit that upgrade your board. He's looking at selling Riven. We are probably going to be playing this Garen for the foreseeable future, because our main tank is the Illaoi. If you're tanking something more like Shen, then you can play Riven, or if you're playing like 2 healthy, you can play Riven. But in this setup, we're main tanking the Illaoi, so it actually makes a lot of sense to play around the Garen, though. Now we see an Aatrox, yeah, so we have the question, do we want to play 4 Ghostly, or do we want to play Story Weaver plus Warden? We could also, I mean, it doesn't do anything to get it in over the Morgana. The Morgana is definitely staying on our board, so yeah, the question is 4 Ghostly versus Warden plus Story Weaver. We opt to just play Warden plus Story Weaver. I think this makes sense. And, I mean, we can go pretty fast 7 this game, because we're playing for Zoe 3 and Illaoi 3 as our main tanks. We don't really, and carry, we don't have to play for, like, Zyra 3 this game. This is actually really, really helpful for us, because, yeah, we can just immediately, as quickly as we can, push level, probably at 4-1. Ooh, another Ornn item here. We want one that's takeable on Zoe. I mean, I guess the most takeable one is Snipers, but then that gets taken. This is really, really rough. We're about to come out here. I mean, Deathfire Grasp is, like, the only takeable one. And, I mean, I don't know that you even put this on Zoe. You might even just put this on Zyra. I don't know. I'm curious to see, because this would be a spot where I would stats check it. I mean, well, why not? Why don't we do a stats check? I don't do too many of these during the VODs, but honestly, like, this is what I would do in this spot here, because I'm not familiar enough with this comp to be happy summing item here. Zoe Zyra comp, go here, go to items, and then I like to just type in Ornn item, and then you can see all the Ornn items. DFG positive delta on Zoe. She gets, her stats get worse when you put this onto her. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't put it on her, but I would also like to see DFG onto Zyra stats, still positive delta, so I think I would greed. I think I would greed here and just throw it onto the Zyra here. But we'll see. I think he's really considering. I guess the other option would be to just throw it onto, like, Morgana, but it's kind of hard to position her like that. Like, you kind of want her where she is here. So yeah, he does throw it onto Zyra. I love this play. We also have Guardbreaker as a slam here. I'm pretty sure Guardbreaker, I mean, once again, I didn't look at the stats for Guardbreaker, but seems like it would be fantastic here. But it looks like we're gonna wait a fight or two before we end up slamming that. We still need armor or MR shred on this board, right? There's no form of MR shred outside of, like, the Aatrox, but that's really unreliable. So we want to go for Spark here, get a bunch of free rolls here. There's no reason to, like, he's not intentionally rolling here, but we get so many free rolls, we might as well use them. You could even, yeah, I was gonna say you could actually roll a couple of times here, just because we are Illaoi paired, we're now Zoe paired, so I don't actually dislike that roll there, even though like we would prefer to roll on 7, but there's so many things to hit, especially on a 5 streak here. I actually like that roll. I honestly think we probably should have rolled to 30 gold here, because if we lose this fight, we're losing a lot of gold for it. And yeah, I think Ego Illusions would agree that he probably should have continued to roll here down to 30 gold, because Zoe 2 would have won us this fight, and that would have kept the streak, would have been really valuable. And like, you know, even Illaoi 2 could have won us this fight, so a little yeah, kind of close there. Ends up feeling bad. He also opts to now get the Aatrox in. He says, you know what, at this point, I'm no longer feeling the Story Weaver, and hey, we get some upgrades here. Still gonna roll on 6, which is kind of interesting. That I'm surprised that we're not going 7. I mean, we can go 7 next round. Nashor's Tooth here onto Zoe. Huh, that's interesting. I gotta go back and look at the stats, because I would not expect it to be that good. I mean, sure, you can go for like TG and Warmogs here. I guess the other option is Guardbreaker plus nothing, but I mean, TG Warmogs is pretty awkward. I think I would have gone for that though. But I mean, Guardbreaker's good. You definitely want to keep the cloak open for Spark here, so you can't really make anything out of that. I mean, I guess he's looking for Shen 3, but I mean, you can find that on 7 surely. Heavy hitters, when you tend to play comps like this, I feel like I overrate this augment. This would be another stats check, I would say. So I'm curious what the stats actually say here. It looks like he's not going to stats check it though. And wow. I mean, I guess we already have a JG, so like the unified over JG isn't that crazy. It's a little crazy to me though. I'm kind of surprised about that. He also opts to get the Riven in at this point over the Garen that we could have played earlier, which also a little surprising to me that he values the Bruiser over the Warden here, just because once again, Illaoi's our main tank. We're really playing around her this game, but maybe like we have no 2 healthy. There's no reason that we have to play Riven over Garen. So a little surprised by that call as well, but maybe there's a reasoning behind Riven. I mean, it's HP for the entire board. Once you get higher level, it helps a lot, but still, I feel like I would definitely just want the Warden here. And it's also like a 2-star Garen is going to be a lot better than a Riven 1, but maybe, I mean, we're not hitting Riven 3 this game. There is no shot. But yeah, I mean, we can just chill a little bit here. We only have one thing to roll for right now immediately, which is the Shen, but we want to have enough gold to actually hit Zoe through this game, and our board should be like fine. I don't expect this board to win streak this stage, but we should definitely kill units. The big thing that we need, as I've talked about earlier, is the MR Shred. We just gotta pick that up, throw that onto like Shen here probably. It would have been TG Shen if we had made the TG, which would have been kind of awkward. Or I guess you could TG like Riven and then Warmogs the Shen would have been fine. Man, there's so many components in this game. But yeah, the biggest thing we want is Rod here. The Rod onto the Morgana looks good. Rod onto, you just need a Rod here, but Rod Morgana you can definitely be happy with. Can't take that, so we just take Rod onto the Janna here, and then we get to make Nashor's onto Zyra, which, I mean, looks really good. I mean, these are probably, we don't get the Morgana, but these are probably better items than the other ones. Yeah, so Nashor's, Spark here, perfect. I'm really happy with these items in this position. And I mean, the items end up working out really well with the Guardbreaker. I think in hindsight, it actually made a lot of sense. And like, if we had TG'd Shen, then it would have been really awkward to find a spot for Ionic Spark, so you would have had to TG someone else, and then at that point the TG is just not getting very much value. So honestly, I think smart call from Ego Illusions there. Boom, the Zoe bouncing around. Zoe 2 dealing 10k damage, by the way. That is a pretty good unit. The Zoe unit is just an absolute monster. So yeah, keep an eye out for angles where you can play around Zoe Reroll. We're gonna use a bunch of free rerolls here. He's looking at the Galio here just to play it over the Riven as a slightly better bruiser. We do pick up another Illaoi here, maybe Illaoi 3 in sight. Shen 3 is also fantastic. Man, these free rolls from this Augment are so nice. And yeah, we're just gonna play the Galio. I mean, I'm definitely down to play a Galio. The only slightly awkward thing is actually Galio can end up taunting people off of our Eternal Winter. I almost like Garen better than Galio until we find Galio 2, because there's like a scary situation here where like this Ashe is hitting our Eternal Winter and then Galio taunts her off Eternal Winter and then she gets to auto faster. Maybe that'll make the Illaoi live longer, but yeah, I don't love him. I don't love him on this board, but you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm surely a Galio 2 would be better, and so I think that's the idea, is that it's going to be like we're going to hit Galio 2 this game, almost guaranteed. He's just not that contested of a unit. We get a billion gold there. Might have been a Galio. Just going to take an item for Illaoi, for the not the Illaoi, but the Shen here. Also, yeah, he does end up actually swapping out for Riven, and ooh, he's looking for the Riven 3 idea. Another Zyra here. For Zyra 3, you just got to roll it down here, looking at Riven 3 as well. He's holding so many things in the spot. Honestly, you have to give up on something here. It's either Riven or the Aatrox, and he opts to give up on the Riven. I mean, Aatrox got buffed this patch, so maybe Aatrox 3 is actually better, because last patch I would say I would take the Riven over the Aatrox for sure. But yeah, we need to roll it down here, like to 0, basically. We need to hit our board at this point. It is so far away. There's a Zoe. Ups to, I think he didn't hold an Aatrox there. He wanted to hold the Udyr over Aatrox. There's Zyra 3, which is huge. There's Morgana. Got to keep rolling here. Another Zoe is really good. So many rolls. It's like, okay, he makes the swap at the end, which I really like. Prioritizing making a swap there, though. Oh my god. This guy is really strong as well. We might lose this fight as well. We're 1 off Illaoi 3, 2 off Zoe 3. We need to hit these. We have so many free rerolls. Honestly, maybe we should have rolled a little bit on neutrals just because of how many rolls we have, though. Ooh, I think... No, we lose this fight just barely. Really close, though. Down to 19 HP. Okay, we got to roll here. There's Illaoi 3, and we need to hit Zoe through this game. There's no way we can push levels in this spot. Like, we're going to lose the game without Zoe 3. There's another Zoe. Keep rolling here. Just as many rolls as we can. Try to find the Zoe. I mean, there's no way we miss, right? Oh my god, we need to hit before combat. Oh, that is a rough... That is very rough. I like that he's holding onto these Udyrs. I guess this is going to be our next in, but oh my god, are we going to lose this fight as well because we have no Zoe 3? Down to 5 HP. Look how close this lobby is, though. You can go Shen item here. You can go... I mean, he's just going to take the Zoe 3 with the Dryad +1. Yeah, I mean, you have to guarantee the Zoe 3 here. You need Zoe. I mean, honestly, if we could have rolled down... Like, if we could have got to Zoe last round, it would have felt so much better because then we wouldn't have had to take the Zoe, but, I mean, it's tough. The other nice thing about this is picking this up means that we can actually push levels pretty quickly this game. And yeah, he's even gonna... I love this. He's gonna just play the Gnar over the Ornn here. The Behemoth is not as relevant as the Warden is, even though Ornn's a much better unit. But the big thing here is that we get to actually level this round. And Ego Illusions, it's an interval, so he really wants to level here, and 2, he is very afraid if he just like loses this fight, he could die. This fight looks so close, but oh my god, the Zyra and the Zoe just clutches through at the end, and the Illaoi just tanks. But yeah, he does end up blocking for the Ornn because he is a much better unit. You do want to play the Ornn here. It's just that, yeah, last round we wanted to level really badly so we don't die. What a close game, man. 5 HP. But look at this lobby, man. Second place is 11 HP. If we live one more fight, this is already a top 4. Like, this lobby is so crazy close. Love this positioning. So the Lee Sin ends up going on to the Illaoi, gets Eternal Wintered, and then Zoe just one-taps in perfect positioning against a duelist board. And in general, that should be a relatively easy matchup as long as we don't mess up our positioning and allow the Lee Sin to wrap, but really nice stuff. And that means we might already be in the top 4. Yep, it's already a top 4. This game looked so sketchy for a second, but man, we clutched out right at the end there. Really nice stuff from Ego Illusions to make sure his positioning has been very clean this game. Almost every fight he's had his units in the correct spots. He's been greeting kill value, but it's been fine because he hasn't been running into a lot of Lilia Morgana boards. But if he ends up in those situations, you probably don't want to greed this. And yeah, we're just gonna roll down here, try to pick up an Ornn 2, just because Ornn 2 would be a big upgrade onto our board. Yeah, even a random Udyr 2 he's considering playing if he hits it. But yeah, then at this point we'll just sell the Udyrs and roll, try to pick up the Ornn 2. Man, these rolls are not it. Ooh, I'm a little scared about this positioning. We pick up Morello here to guarantee heal cut. A little scared about this versus the Nautilus here. It might be fine. Yeah, I hate this positioning versus Nautilus, but I think our board's strong enough. Wow, that was a close fight. I mean, this guy being stuck on 8 and having Econ Augment and VCLF is going to die here as well, so it's a top 2. Oh my god. But yeah, we got to be careful in those matchups because that positioning was a little bit scary. Like, there was a decent chance that... I mean, it did happen where our Zoe and our Zyra got AoE'd. And yeah, he notices that last fight and is going to move the Zoe to the corner here. I love this. Make sure that we're not getting AoE'd by, like, a Rakan or anything like that. Swaps the Illaoi last second as well. Beautiful swap to get the Eternal Winter onto the Aurelia here. And the big question is that enough? This guy's Hui 2, this guy's Aurelia 2. Zoe's chewing through the board, though, doing a lot of work. Oh, she needed one more cast to finish this guy off. So close. But I think Ego Illusion's going to be quite happy with a top 2 there. This was such a close game, and at some point it almost looked like he was just going 7th. So really cool game from Ego Illusions. Rank 1 global. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And hey, getting up to the 1K plus in NA as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.